So apparently they say the number of men that have cheated is somewhere around the ballpark of 57%. Now compare that to the number of women that have cheated, that's about 54%. Even when you go to the study that shows the percentages of people that would cheat if they never got caught, men is like 74, women is 68. Still not big of a difference. Even when you break it down by age in another case study, women actually lead by like 1% when it comes to the ages of 20 to 29. Now, the older we get, you see men pretty much dominate all the way up into their 80s. And if you're still cheating when you're 80, I don't think this video can help you. I think, matter of fact, you need to make a damn video. How the hell are you still doing it?
Shut your trap.
Anyway, let's unpack and welcome back to this reality check, and thank you so much for helping the channel grow. This is a deep topic that I've not only experienced, I've experienced on both sides. So I'm gonna tell you what it feels like, but in order to do that, I'm gonna tell you why I did it. Yes, I have cheated once in my life, and it was when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. I was still learning, trying to figure things out. I was in a relationship where I was miserable, and instead of working out that relationship or trying to end that relationship, I sought affection from somebody else. And if we're gonna be real, there's different degrees to cheating where you would look at somebody and say, ooh, you are a dirty bastard, or where you might actually look at them and say, I could see why you did it. Doesn't make it right, but I could see why you did it.
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
But honestly, in my case, when I did it, when I was in my 20s, I was just an idiot. There was literally no good reason to do it. I was definitely to blame, and I was young and dumb, and I would go on to regret it for the rest of my life, literally. And I don't mean it in a cliche way. I mean, I believe it set up a domino effect for the rest of my life. Because every relationship that I got in after that, I felt like I had a seed that I had sown, and that someday I was gonna reap it. I always believed, some people call it karma. Other people just say you reap what you sow. If you wanna believe that's the same thing. I always had this fear in the back of my mind that one day it's going to happen to me. Let's be real. Nowadays, when we're dating around, especially nowadays, there's so many games, there's so many apps. You're swiping left, you're swiping right, you're trying to pick somebody you date around. Usually you have a few names in your phone just to see if one eventually sticks. And we're taught the game. We're taught this behavior. We're taught this way of treating people almost like we're on a roulette wheel. Instead of taking the time and the energy, the true sacrifice that it requires to get to know somebody, to give your all to somebody, instead we enter a relationship guarded. Well, I'm gonna give you this piece right now, and then if it gets a certain amount of time, I'll give you another piece. But before you get past all these walls, it's almost like the damn American Ninja Warrior. Y'all watch that TV show? It's almost like you gotta go through this damn relationship obstacle course where you climbing over walls we done built, jumping over booby traps, just to get to the end where you can finally say, okay, I love you. I think. Love is a battlefield. Ain't that what they say? And every time I fell in love after that or tried to fall in love, I always felt like my past was gonna somehow haunt me. And it did. It did to the point where when I was cheated on, there was a piece of me that always felt like maybe I deserve it. Maybe I had this coming, so what can I do but just be better? Now hold on one second, don't get me wrong. That don't ever mean that Nesto just stayed in the relationship. I'm a punching bag now, so y'all can just punch me and cheat on me all you want. No, I was always out. I always had that big rule in the relationship. I was like, yo, we could work past anything, but if I cheat or if you cheat, if one of us breaks this trust, that is it, we're done. So 10 times out of 10, if I got cheated on, even if I felt like, damn, maybe this is my karma, I was out. Because even though I felt like I had to be better and I was escaping my past, I still had some self-worth where I was like, I will not accept treatment. I will not be shitted on. I will not be a punching bag. I deserve respect. I'm not perfect, I'm far from it, but I always had something in me that was like, I cannot allow a certain type of behavior, because people will only treat you how you allow them to. So I wouldn't do it, and that would be the relationship. GG's, game over, and I would go on to the next. And a piece of me thought, okay, maybe it's done now. Maybe since I did it when I was younger, and now it was done back to me, we're good. I can start fresh now, I can start fresh. And I'm not sure exactly how far later, but it happened again. Yeah, it happened again. Now I'm like, hey, I thought we was even. I'm like, hey, what's the scoreboard now? What's 1 to 2? 2's, y'all kicking my ass. I don't think it's karma no more. I think, hey, this is too much. We can put the brakes on. Lord, Can we put the brakes on? Nah, your head's spinning, right? Because you done built up this weird thing in your head where you're like, I kind of deserve it. Maybe I'm even, whether you're spiritual, religious, or you just believe in energy, however you feel. It is a mind fuck, truly, and excuse my language, but when I'm talking real like this, I'm gonna use the language that I was using at the time, the emotion that I felt when I was going through all of this. You almost feel now you're spiraling. Well, what am I doing wrong? Because they always say you attract what you are, so make sure you're putting out the right version, the true version of you. Because if you playing some games, but you over here thinking you getting something else, no, you're gonna get some games back. They even did another case study where they tried to figure out how many couples actually stayed together after somebody was cheating. Only 20% stayed together when there was an affair that was disclosed. And it went up to 57% actually stayed together when it was an affair that was revealed. Meaning, the damn truth will set you free, won't it? All this is saying is, for those that kept it a secret and then got caught, only 20% of them were able to stay together. For those that actually came forward and told the truth, up to 57% were able to make it work. That's crazy to me. I didn't think it would be that high, 57%, but that just goes to show you that how much people value honesty, even if it's devastating. Now for me, like I said prior, I've always had this rule where, and everybody's different, I just felt that that was it. If you cheated, that was it. I don't think I can get past that. There was gonna be too much trauma. There was gonna be too much worry. Some days would be good, some days would be bad. I don't think that I could ever trust you again. And then if it was vice versa, I would understand the same thing. You ever see what fire does to the human body? Like just know somebody or see them on the street. I've met a couple of people that lived through a horrible fire or even an explosion, like if they were off serving in the military and then they come back home and their body was just horribly mangled in a way that you can't even comprehend. They basically have to carry that. They have to live that way for the rest of their lives. That's what cheating does. Cheating is that fire. Cheating is that explosion, that bomb that wrecks you emotionally. The way you see our body mangled by an explosion, by a bomb, by a fire, that is the same way when trust is broken. How our inside, how our spirit, how our mentality is just obliterated. The feeling of that. And I think in a way it was a blessing since I've been on the other side more times than I would like to be, right? In my younger days. I'm in my late 40s now, but it made me respect the power of that devastation to know that I could actually cause that to somebody. The way I'm feeling right now, the way I'm boo-hooing and crying and depressed and don't want to talk to nobody and what's the matter with me? Why am I getting cheated on? Why is he so much better than me? Yada, yada, all these mind games, all this torment. I could actually do that to somebody else. No. I have done that to somebody else. Fuck me. Now you really messed up. Like, I am not only capable of doing this to somebody, I have to live with the fact that I did do this to somebody when I was younger. And now I'm living through it for like the second time. So that's why I think I've over time developed this zero tolerance policy that I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I know I'm not doing it, but if you do it to me, we are absolutely done. There's no working through this. And I know it's 100% because of the damn relationship battlefield that I've already lived through that it got my mind kind of working in this direction. And honestly, there was a piece of me that thought, I don't know if I could ever find this. I'm just getting older. I remember I was being around my 30s and I was thinking I would literally go in the backyard. At the time, I was praying to God. I would just be walking around staring at the sky, just praying out loud, you know what I'm saying? Because I always believed in religion or Christianity, more personable. Thought of it as actually having a relationship where I could talk to God as I talk to you guys. I always thought from a young age, if there is a God and he created me, then he knows me and he knows my heart and he knows how I talk. And I know now you're thinking I'm crazy, I'm going on to this other tangent, but no, the only reason why I tell you that is to tell you my personal story. This is how I felt. This is how I got through that. This is me walking in the backyard, looking up, just praying to God, like, when will this end? I just want love. And I promise the next time I get it, I'll try my best. I know I'm not gonna be perfect, but I just want this cycle to end and I want a real one. And don't you know, I would say somewhere about a year's time after me doing those prayers, anytime I had some free time, I met my current wife again for the second time. We have now been together going on 13 years. 13 years. This is hands down the longest, most beautiful relationship I have ever had in my life. But the crazy thing is, the reason why I say the second time is because there was a part when we dated years before this and our minds weren't right. We were still playing games. So somehow we met again 4 years later and it actually worked. I finally found a relationship where I can give them my all, where I've been in it long enough also to give you my all. I'd be lying if I sat here and said that it's easy. Oh, it gets easier. You're kind of in autopilot. Once you get to 10 years, it's all up. I mean, it's downhill. It's easy. No, it's not. It is work. It is constantly work. I started seeing like aunts and uncles of mine, like people that I knew that had been together for like 35, 40 years still get divorced, and that blew my mind. I know life is life and nobody's perfect, so sometimes you might have your hills and valleys, and stuff like that is bound to happen. Don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect, but it is definitely our responsibility to protect this relationship and to do everything we can to grow together. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things I've ever learned in a relationship, and I'll leave you guys with this, is most people think when you're with together, you automatically grow together. No, that's why you always hear, we just grew apart, such and such, yeah, this was great, this was wonderful, but we grew apart. Because literally, you never stop growing. That's why you still see stats for divorces and cheating in the 80s. In the 80s and the 70s and 60s, because as long as there's breath in your lungs, you will never stop growing as a person. You get new friends, you get new hobbies, you get a new job. You never stop growing. So it is up to us in this relationship, this love that we're trying to protect, that we're trying to keep, to constantly check in with each other to make sure we're growing together. And there it is, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me. I am absolutely loving this new series. We just talked about how my first marriage didn't work, how I went to jail for being a dumbass, and how I got shot at 3 different times by 3 different people. All of those absolutely true, and they're on the channel if you guys are interested. Whether you're a current subscriber or you're brand new and you're just randomly clicked on this channel, thank you guys for tuning in. We do post about 3 to 4 times a week, so I hope you guys keep enjoying the transparent content and all the honesty, because there is nothing but on the way. Thank you guys for the amazing love. I will see you soon, and as always, I don't know what it is, but I know somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all, forever. Peace.